How
better.
about this? Okay.
Yes, this way is better. Okay,
Mm,
so guys, it's good to see you all again. I have Farouk here joining us. We are going to give you updates on um, what we have been doing for the past 2 years. And yes, and before we do that, I just want to read a review that we got this morning. Somebody sent me a very nice message, and
mm,
I think I should commend you, Farid, for what you're doing, you and your team.
mm,
The other professors from other universities in is
mm,
it Montreal and all over Canada.
mm,
Yeah, so
mm,
this person says um, he's a proud follower,
mm.
and he says, I must confess that the few days of following you is worth my time. May God bless you for all that you are doing through your social media space. I am very much motivated that money shouldn't be a barrier for my dream, in studying abroad. Yes, he says he went through the meeting we had last Saturday. He watched the whole YouTube um, meeting, and he has learned a lot. And I think he has even emailed you. He has sent you his resume to go through. Yes, but I believe that he will proceed with the scholarship application only if he qualifies.
Mm.
And in the end, you'll hear good results. So yeah, I just want to also use this opportunity to commend everybody who is doing well. Um, trying to help students with the application. Yeah, so let's go on to what we are doing today. So we are just going to give them updates on what has been happening so far, Farouk. It's nice seeing you again. Okay, so I was part of the meeting last year. Honestly, for this year, it was 6 a.m. and I wasn't awake.
Yeah.
I was sleeping by the time. Yeah. And so from last year, how has the results been? How many students have we had? How many students got the opportunity to get a full scholarship with a master's program? And
Mm.
how many students did we also get for the PhD?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Gina, for having me on. Yeah. I'm happy to hear the review. I think
Yeah,
it's possible in getting to know
yeah.
that what that we put in is, paying some, good dividend is a proud moment
Mm,
for all of us.
mm,
Back to question in terms of the numbers as to the number of people who were able to get these scholarships, be it the PhD or the masters. I don't have the exact numbers as of now because most of them are currently applying for the visa, which is the second stage. So
oh,
hopefully
but
by
they'll get it.
exactly
Yeah.
so
Mm.
hopefully by the end of September, I can have a fair idea as to the number of students that we we have. So in terms of maybe if you had
Um,
to, yeah, go ahead.
Not to cut you, but even let's just even put the visa aside. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that they've been able to get the scholarship,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That alone is good. It's a good sign. And so, how many students got the scholarship?
Currently, I'm looking at the and one thing I don't want to take away from the students is the fact that most of the work is done by them, and as I
Then, no,
constantly
yeah.
only
Mm-hmm,
coming to assist 1% of the time, the rest
mm-hmm,
99% of the time the student do put in the hard work to make sure that everything is quite consistent with the requirements of the department and what's expected. So let me just
mm-hmm,
quickly rate 99% of the job is done by the students.
yeah.
1% we just point out that this might be a loophole. You might want to correct yourself, and you might just want to
Yeah.
look at the aspects of your statement of purpose. So these are pretty much minor things as we come into assess, which we hope will, at the end of the day, contribute to their success. So in terms of the numbers, if I'm to have a holistic view of it, so I think we are above 20 or so from last year and in the prior years. I think in terms of the payment that we did, which is pretty much the very first step, the 2021 we paid more than 30 students in terms of the partial payments of the fees, which is the $50.
Yeah.
Last year we paid more than 30 students as well. I think the
Oh, that's
success
good.
around 50%. or more. So we are looking around 15 students getting the either the admission with a partial scholarship or with a full scholarship. So putting it at the range of 15 students will be a fair estimate. But as I mentioned, it has to also go through the visa process.
The visa process, yeah.
Prepare.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that alone is very impressive because so what I always say is that yes, first off, I need people to understand that we are not doing it for them. That is why I always say on my show that if somebody wants us to do the visa, I mean the school application and the visa process, the whole process for them, with that, you will pay for my services, right? I have a team, you pay for my services. But if even with the guidelines, with the guide we're providing to them, they're able to do that by themselves and sail through, it's a very, very good one. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And so with the visa process, do they come to you? Do you help them in any way if they have any questions?
Yeah. So I think that my platform, as I mentioned, is mostly along the lines of me coming in to assist them financially. So it's rather the other way around, where I come in to pay an aspect of your application fee for you. With the visa process, I think what I did, and it has been helpful, is we use the past student experience to teach the current students. So using 2021's cohort, we have students who were able to use our guidance program. They benefited from the financial support, so they were very much grateful. So as part of their way of giving back to what we've given to them, is they stayed in touch and they offered their support whenever we needed. So what I did was to organize a WhatsApp group page. So if you're currently applying for a visa and you have a technical question that you cannot answer, you just post it in, and then the student then answer question for you. Sometimes I organize one-on-one where the students will get in touch with you and assist you. So it's mostly along this volunteer activity where we don't charge you, we don't do anything, but what we just expect from you is to put in the effort. Just make sure you read, make sure you use the resources that we give you, and at the end of the day, we hope you can equally make it, because by reading and following the guidance, others have done it. Why not you?
You can also do it. Yeah, mostly people reach out and they're like, okay, they have gone through, but they are still asking me questions. Can you recommend schools so that I can, go through their website? I'm like, it depends on the program you want to do, right? You will have to do all the research by yourself. So this is not something that you will leave everything to us to do. We do all your research, we do everything for you. No, it doesn't happen like that. With the program Dr. Farouk and his team are doing, it doesn't work like that. So you would have to put in more work to do it. Yeah. Okay. So from the meeting we had last year, they are yet to put in their visa application. What of last 2 years? I mean, people who came last year or who are coming. Oh no, so people who are coming this year is from last year. What of people who came last year?
Oh yeah, I think we do have a couple. I think I did have a meeting with them last year as well.
Yeah.
If you go to my,
I remember they all came.
Yeah, I think they are very supportive, and that's one thing I'm very much proud of, because what they did, as I mentioned earlier, is to stay in touch and offer the support whenever I need it. Because organizing such a program, having 300 applicants or more, coming to you, hey, I need this help, I want to, it's just so.
It's too much.
They stepped in. They were like, "Hey, Farouk, we can help you." So currently, what I'm doing is they are the ones, coming in to assist. So when you look at the interactions that we have with professors, they are the moderators. So last I had a discussion with Professor Asuma from University of Manitoba. The past student was a moderator. Next week, I'm going to have a discussion with Professor Achu Amegashi of University of Guelph. Another past student is going to be the moderator. So that's how it's going to work. So the more we assist the students coming in, they become the ones taking over this program and we grow. So with that, we can be able to, scale. So initially it was just the few of us, myself, lawyer Shafiq, Fauzia, Ali, and I believe Fatih Abdul-Salam, that's the four of us. But currently we have about 20 students already in Canada. So that will make our life much, much easier. And it has.
Yeah, and that is when I also come in. This week I've had 3 people who are coming to UBC contact me that, oh Gina, we are coming. And I live close to that. I live like about 20 minutes away from UBC, and they're like, Gina, I'm coming. Can you help me with accommodation? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So 3 people, and it makes me excited that I'm also able to help one way or the other. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good thing, and I'm very happy about this whole thing. Okay, so let's come to
not to cut you. I think I also gave someone your contact to get in touch with you this.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did. He did. Yeah.
Vancouver, and is a female. My go-to person is Gina because I know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Okay, and you know what? Even with him, I am bringing him on the show. I told him, I'm like, hey, you. He told me is he in Montreal or something? So he said, yeah, and I'm like, hey, you have to be on my show. He says he'll be coming. So probably next week or 2, I'll invite him here. Okay, so this year's application, what are some of the things the students should look out for?
Yeah.
I mean, we have just started because application opens in August, and I have said that on my page. People, all the business students who are looking to do the HR and all those business courses, I've told them, hey, Canada doesn't provide scholarship for business programs like that. But if you're looking at the economics and the math and the sociology and others, you can get that. Yeah, so people are looking forward to start this application. But for people who would get the scholarships, what are some of the things they should look out for? What can you give us just a little summary, just a summary of the meeting you had last Saturday? Because I know that majority of the people on my page, there are few people who have texted me that they were able to go back to the YouTube page and watch it. But anybody who hasn't done that yet, can you give us a brief of what you discussed on the page in the meeting?
Oh yeah, I think that's a very good to give context or probably some background. So earlier when we started this program, the whole idea is for me to let connection, be it with the professors or anyone in the field that I find interesting. He or she will come in and give us some talk. So this year's program, I think I opened it much earlier. I think I mentioned that I was going to open it in August, but I kind of decided to move it to somewhere May, which I've already opened. And the idea here is I want to give the students enough time to prepare, like get to work on their CV, get to work on their statement of purpose, get to work on the department requirements, and get to work on the schools that will match their background as well. So I started. So currently I do have the forms out there. Anyone interested can just fill out the form and follow the meeting. So we have the WhatsApp page where you just follow the meetings. So last week's discussion was with the professor, as I mentioned earlier, from University of Manitoba. He's a professor of sociology, so he's more into the arts. So whatever he or she, he said over there is very important for those in the arts, as well as those interested in studying the prairies, be it Saskatchewan or Manitoba. So when you go back and watch what Professor Asuma said, I think that will give you a fair idea as to what you need to prepare as an art student or someone coming to the prairies. Then next week, as I mentioned, we're going to have Professor Achua Megashi. He's a professor from the University of Guelph, and he's into the more of the mathematics, like the economics and stuff, the rest. So he's going to come in there and give us an idea as to what is expected of us, those of us in the math, sciences, what to prepare for, and what material that you're expected to prepare. So one thing.
So next week,
Professor Chuamega.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to post the link on my page like I did last time. Yeah. Okay.
On my
And your YouTube, so we don't forget your YouTube channel, let them know because there are so many educative videos on that channel. So guys, you need to watch it and you need to subscribe to his YouTube channel.
hopefully. Yes. Yeah, Professor Amegashi will come and give us his perspective from those of us working from the economics, math, and those related, as well as those interested in Ontario related universities, right? And the week, I think 2 weeks after that, I'm going to have Professor Solomon Boachi. He's professor of material engineering, so he's more into the pure sciences. So with this in mind, we've been able to cover almost all the fields that's related. So when you are preparing, you can prepare well. At the end of the day, if you follow all these series and you prepare your CV, I'm going to personally organize a CV session where I'll take you guys through how to write your CVs and also your statement of purpose if time allows. So the whole idea here is if the student is able to follow all these series, he or she should be able to prepare a very good material and submit it when I'm about to shortlist the 30 students. I can pick the 30 students from that. Sadly, Gina, last year I just picked the student based on the GPA, and at the end of the day, just didn't show interest because they just prepare materials that are not necessarily up to standard, and you tend to affect those who weren't picked. So with this, I'm giving everybody the chance. I'm not just looking at your CGPA. I'm looking at how serious you are. I'm looking at your CV. I'm looking at the schools that you've chosen. I'm looking at how diligent you've been able to follow our proceedings. So when I'm to shortlist you, I know for sure the $50 that I'm going to assist you with is not going to go west, right? So that's how is that's the thinking behind this year, and that's why I'm trying to start much earlier than expected. And like just a quick, I just saw Latif here. Latif is from Saskatchewan, and
Hi, Latif.
what Latif, he's a very great friend of mine. So whenever I have issues related to agric related programs or anyone coming to Saskatchewan, I just knock on Latif's door, and then he's also able to assist. That's been the aspect that we leverage. So we have the likes of Latif in Saskatchewan, who has been of immense help to us, and we hope as we grow, things will be much easier for those coming in.
Oh, Latif, thank you so much. We appreciate your help. Okay, you're watching us. Yeah, a big shout out to Latif. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I think so. Like I mentioned, today's conversation will be a very short one because we wanted to touch base on all these areas and to also know that it's this thing that Farouk and his team are doing is really good and it's helping lots of people. We've had success stories from this. So guys, anybody interested in applying for, please note business programs you won't get. Am I saying something? I mean, am I talking sense? Am I correct, Farouk? Because I know for sure that business, when it comes to human resource, like the program that I did, you won't get a scholarship for that. You won't get a scholarship in Canada, like the accountants, procurement, right? You won't get a scholarship. So this interview is for people in the other fields, the field that I mentioned. Is that correct, though?
So I think that's a very good point that you mentioned there, and I actually wanted to get in touch with you with those business related fields because those on my platform for business are really having a hard time to get schools. So what I told them, I'll try as much as possible to get a professor from the business field who can come in and help. So I did. My plan is to get in touch with Professor Solomon, and he'll be able to get us someone from the business field to talk to us. And that being said, I also know that there are some fields related to diploma and the rest, and the fact that when you come in, you can work to assist yourself partially and all that kind of help.
Yeah.
So we don't wanna say that if you're in the business field, don't join our program. I think that wouldn't sound good. Just come in and find some means of helping you understand the system and maybe find the rules and regulations as well as the pros and cons of the program. You can your own decision as to whether you really want to come.
Okay.
I also make it a point to tell students that whenever you want to ask about scholarship, don't say, is there a scholarship? Because that's a wrong question to ask. Say, what's the situation like? And Gina can talk to more about that. So in Canada, there is scholarship which comes with no strings attached. You just get the money with no, strings attached. So those, you might get them in the sciences and in the arts. Then there's also the fact that there's bursary. So bursary is when you come in, you might have some level of difficulty in paying your fees. So the bursary can help you partially to pay off your fees. There's also the idea of you working more than 20 hours a week. Initially, it was 20 hours. It has been to something more than 20 hours. So that's another avenue that you can use to finance your stay. And also there's also the idea of you working as a teaching assistant or research assistant. There's also the idea of you bringing in your spouse, and he or she might be working full-time whilst you are in school. So when you have to ask that question about scholarship, don't say, is there a scholarship? That's a no. Just say, what's the situation like? You can ask Gina. Gina can explain, and ask me, I can explain further. And maybe with that understanding, you might want to go into the business field, knowing very well that your spouse can be working full-time whilst you are in school, or you can be working 40 hours a week or whatever, just to get yourself through.
Okay, great. About people contacting you, I've had people come to me and they're like, okay, Gina, so our conversation from last year is pinned on my Facebook. It's one of the very top videos that I have. People still go back, and when they go to watch it, they need me to give them your number. And I'm like, no, it doesn't happen like that. You should email the person, try to do something, let the person know you're working, right? Because I need you to let people understand that it's not as if I don't want to give your number out. It doesn't work like that. So can you tell them something so that they can understand?
Oh yeah.
Because hey, you're not too mad. I'm find number, mommy come and I'm like, hey, no.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point that you raised over there. With the number, and some people are very, very secretive about their number, but based on the of our program, I think I just made it it's a very conscious decision of mine to make my number available to everyone. So when you look at the WhatsApp page, you see my number there because I'm the admin. So you directly see that there's a number. So feel free to give them my number. However, the most important thing is they just have to get to know the fact that there are about 400 students on the page, and I can't answer everyone's question. Follow the proceedings, use the resources. When it's time to make that decision, we can make the decision. If there is any pressing question, thankfully we now have a lot of students from the previous years. You can just pick me, and if I think a particular student can be of help to you, I just quickly link you up to that particular student to help you. So that's been ways through which I equally take away the stress and the pressure that Gina is trying to prevent.
Anyways, my number is on my page, so it's okay. Yeah, but it makes sense, right? Because you don't just give out people's number. You need to seek for their consent, right? Before you give them. Yeah. Can I have a link to the WhatsApp, please? Okay, so I have shared it's not a video, it's a post on my page about, I think on last Wednesday or so. When you go there and you click on that link, I think there's a WhatsApp, or you can go to I can even give you the number. You just text me, okay? Just send me a message. My number is on the page, so send me a message. I'll give you Farouk's number. Okay?
Also, let them fill out the forms. I think that's very important because I need to keep track of those who applied. So if you just give them the number, join the page without applying, I might miss.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I hope you heard that. Okay, so I think that will be it for today, unless of course you have something else to tell us. I said it was going to be a quick one. I don't want it to be like an hour video.
No.
So yeah, thank you for your help and everything. I'm excited to know that through yourself and your team and the little effort that I can also provide. We're all helping people who are coming to Canada. I've had people reach out to me who are not even coming to Vancouver. They are in Toronto, but I'm getting them accommodation because, it's networking, like he mentioned. I have people who myself and my team did application for. They are here, they are in Toronto. So if somebody else is coming, I just reach out to them. Hey, somebody else is coming. You have to get them a place, and they are always willing to help. Yes. So I think that will be it for today, Farouk. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, we're all busy. It's not easy to get somebody, somebody will give you a little bit of their time. It's not easy, but yes. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for showing up. Okay. You don't have anything else to say?
No, just make it a point to attend to Professor Gomon's discussion tomorrow. Hopefully, he can provide additional details. And
Did you say tomorrow?
Next week Saturday.
Next week. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll post it on my page, guys. Yes, I will post that on my page. I see that when I post things like that, they don't pay attention to it. The last one that I posted, I think I posted it on Wednesday or Thursday, and on the next day, on Friday, I had to make a quick video reminding them to join the meeting because at the time it was 6 a.m. here and I was sleeping. Yeah. So yeah, please do well to pay attention to everything I post and do join the meeting next Saturday. Okay, thank you all for joining. Farouk, I'll leave you for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay, so guys, that's it for today. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate your time so much. Do share this video. I need you to share my video, please. Yes, if you share my video, you're supporting me. So please do share my video. If you are not interested in schooling in Canada, someday your family member, your friend, your loved one would be interested, and or my team can be of help to them. So please do well to share the videos. Thank you all. Have a great weekend and take care. Bye.